Oh shit, wrong button.
Was this on purpose?
You'll never know, my buddy. You'll never know. Welcome to CryptoEMC, everybody. And another episode. 90% of people lose 90% of their money in the first 90 days. That's scary. Today, we want to show you 3 simple things that you can do in a chart to see whether that, to prevent you from actually becoming one of the statistic. My name is Rudo, also known as the chart artist. With me is my buddy Fibonacci Lee and my love, it seems. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. Hi, everyone. Yes, stay tuned to the end because I've seen what Rudo wants to share with us today. And wow, he's going to drop some really, really nice charts, some really nuggets here for us today to look at the market, to trade the fear and greed sentiments.
Awesome, guys. So please sit back, relax. You're in good hands. Hit that like button if you don't mind, the subscribe button as well if you're new to the channel. And welcome and congratulations for finding us. And please share with your friends. Let's see if we can help more people. Lee, so today it's definitely going to be a short one.
Promise.
Okay, cool. So we don't want to take up too much of your time. We're getting into Christmas. Things are slowly but surely getting to a point where, we need to just woosah and relax. And the market's definitely not really supporting that much. So guys, before we dive into those 3 things that we want to help you guys and show you guys today, please, in the comments, just tell us where you're from. We'd like to get to know our subscribers. In the end of the day, I see there's some guys from Australia and there's some guys, let's see what else is there. So in the comments, just tell us where you're from. Philippines, welcome. And while you're doing that, also remember that we will be choosing another guy for our early supporter role on the Discord. Now, the Discord's where it's at. It's currently not that lively, I would imagine, as we would want it to be, but we are busy in the background working on some magic for you guys. That's going to help you. And remember, we touched yesterday on this. Lee, what did we say about the $100 to 1 million challenge that we said we were going to do? Maybe you can quickly refresh our minds.
Well, it's not going to be a quick way to get to 1 million, that's for sure. And the market right now is not ideal for this kind of setup to play. So we're just waiting for the right time.
Timing is key, guys. Timing is key. Thanks, Lee. So let me just get that tile out of the way. Okay, cool. We're back. Now, 3 things we were going to show you guys. What is the first thing? And so the first thing is going to be price cycles. I don't know if you guys, when I studied trading and we always looked at price cycles, the market tends to step in a way. It's very structured in a way, in the way that people go about trading and moving and manipulating the market. Now, just before we touch on that, Lee, manipulation, good or bad for us?
Good.
Very good. Why?
Yeah.
Why is it good for us?
You want to play with the guy who can actually move the market. You want to, manipulate the market with them. If you understand their strategy, this is your opportunity to make that money with them.
Yeah, think of it as a twisted playground, guys. Do you want to be buddies with the bully or do you want to be bullied? Simple as that. I rather want to be buddies with the bully. I'm never going to be able to beat him. He's bigger than me, so I'd rather be his friend. And that's what we're trying to do. Manipulation is our friend, and through that, it creates a certain probability that it should play out in the way that we look at things. Now, these 3 tips or self-help tools that we want to share with you guys is going to do that for you. It's going to help you identify whether you are meddling with the kids that's being picked on or you are busy playing with the bully. And that's where I need to bring up my chart. Lee, first one. We tested this, guys, so I'm going to try and get it done in the time limit that we set. Me and Lee, we went through this already once, and it went over time. So, Lee, you need to interrupt me if I'm spending too much time. Okay, so the first tip that I want to show you guys, this is a fun one because it is a way that you can look at losing momentum and gaining momentum. So when we do that, the goal is I'm going to show you how we lost momentum in this run over here. And let's maybe not make drawings that's that childish or rudimentary. I'll thicken up the line and use a better color. So I want to use the scenario to show you how price loses momentum. And then when I'm done, I'm going to do it there and show it to you in reverse to see whether the bears are in fact losing momentum or gaining. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is simply just look at the scenarios over here and zoom into this range. And what I want to do for you guys, and let me just get this out of the way. I want to show you, if we do this in detail, what I mean by when the market steps and leaves a range. And that's all that we want to do. So you can actually go to your drawing tools and click on the horizontal ray and literally just click on each and every peak that you see. Everybody can do this. This is very simple. And then I want you to do exactly the same and click on every little low that you can see. Maybe make the low color. Let's make it orange. Orange looks good at this stage. Click on the lows. Now, what are you seeing here? Firstly, I want to show you something that's nice. And I'm going to get my pencil out and I'm going to choose a nice bright color. There's a green and the orange together. There's a green and orange together. There's a green and orange together. But guess what? There's a gap. There's very little gap there. So there the market had a lot of strength in it. There the market is slowly losing strength. Another thing that you can do, you just clear this. Oops, not cleared. I pressed the wrong button. There we go. Okay, so another thing that you can do is, when we look at the way that the price moves, price is moving within this range. So Lee, what it's doing, it's a lateral pattern. You agree with me there, buddy? Mm-hmm. And once we leave that range, we want to see price not meddle in that between that green and orange line again. And that's normally a trend. That's a strong impulse trend. That's when we want to be looking at that $100 to $1 million that we were talking about earlier, this one. That's when we're going to want to try and do it. When we get a market that gives us that condition, because then it's going to be easy. Otherwise, why fight the trend? Not all price action is made to be traded. Remember that, guys. Okay, so now I'm going to get back to my point. So what do we have over there? And then once we crossed this, we had something similar to that. But now this is the warning sign. When we retraced back down, we tested the top of this range, showing already that momentum is slightly lost. And then when we left this range, we fell right back into it, meaning that now we confirmed ourselves into a lateral pattern. We tried to get above it again, lost it, tried to get above it at a last ditch effort, and then lost it completely. And then obviously the rest is history. February really turned into being a horrible month. February, March, all that way down. Now, what I want you to see from this is simple now. As we were gaining strength, when the retraces started falling back into the lateral pattern that we just left, that's our early sign warning. Now, let's take this. And maybe in the chat, just show me your comments. Everybody is on ball and on par with what I just said and showed there. Should be simple enough to grasp this and literally just mark it out. And you guys need to remember to just have a little bit of fun with this. Okay. So now let's do the same, but let's look at where we are now. I'm just going to delete all these lines. I'm going to flip into a smaller time frame. The argument now is to use what we've just learned to see whether price is moving down, or whether price is going to continue want to move down, or whether we are losing momentum if we were bears. So for that, I'm just going to go into a smaller time frame. Lee, which time frame did you suggest would be the best one for us? The 4 hour or the 1 hour?
Make it 2 hour. cut the up in half.
Okay, let's do a 2 hour. Let's delete that little dot there. I don't know why it's there. Okay, cool. So what are we doing now? Guys, same thing. We want to be looking for these lateral patterns. So what do? We use our lines. So we can do it in this way, or we can use a little nifty little tool. So if you right click on your screen, there's a little invert button. it's going to be, if I right click there, there's a little invert scale button. See there? And all that it does just flips it around, because we tend to learn to just trade in one direction. We want to see the bullish move. So we're always kind of comfortable marking stuff out at bullish, but when it turns to bearish, we think we need to apply a completely different strategy, which is not the case. So what am I going to do? I'm going to look at the tops and I'm going to mark them with the orange line instead of the green line. Okay, and then I'm going to mark the bottoms with the green line instead of the orange line. That's all only thing I'm just working in reverse. Okay, now I'm going to flip it back so that I don't confuse anybody. I'm just going to go right back there and invert this thing back. So when we look at this, where do we see the gaps? Remember now, we want to look for gaps. If the gap gets bigger, momentum is stronger. If the gap gets smaller, momentum's going down. So there's a big gap between orange and green. Can you see there? Smaller gap, smaller gap. So what we are getting is where momentum was strong, momentum got weaker, but we still had a significant shakeout event. Remember, there's other forces playing out, like the leverage, like the contract liquidations, the loans, and so forth. But what did we do? When we came right back, we didn't really just drop down and from that point just move down even lower. What we did is we tried to close the gap. We left a little bit of an imbalance there. That's imbalance, guys. If you ever wanted to know, those would be easy ways to look at imbalance. And at that stage, so is the bears gaining momentum or is the bears losing momentum? Now we've got three zones here: 1, 2, 3. Between 2 and 3, we can argue they're gaining momentum because there's a bigger gap. But between 1, 2, and 3, they are still losing momentum, taking on the big picture. Do you guys agree with me? Send me a 777 in the chat if you do agree with me. Okay. Now, with this being said, the simple tool means that what we have now is the bearish momentum is slowing out. Now, what do I want to see? And I don't want to get trapped into, this is where I normally use a lot. I get trapped into a Bitcoin analysis. This is what we're going to be doing tomorrow. But in short, that's why it's significant. If you look at all these levels, look at those green lines. No higher high, no higher high, no higher high. So if we can do this rally and get the higher high that I would want to see, or even get in this area here, that's when I turn happy. Until then, I have to be patient. I'm going to leave it with that, guys. So everybody understands how to look at momentum, and everybody's happy with momentum. Lee, did I do the momentum justice in this little time that I used?
I think yes, brilliantly done.
Great. Now over to Lee. Lee's now going to take and give you guys the next little tip. The next tip is how we can use the accumulation, this that you find within this range over here. This sideways price action. We're going to use that and look at the result that it generates, and how you should use that to look at the future potential of the current trend. Okay, cool. Lee, over to you, buddy. Let's bring up your screen.
Okay, I also am gonna try to make it short and easy. So basically, when you were talking about those ranges, when the price come back and create a range, so you can see from this huge, the price action from 2020, we come back and we tested this small range for like a month, and now we had another price. The price left the range and then created another range above that. And we stayed inside that range for 2-3 months, right? From February to May. After that, the price went back. And what did we do here? I think the market went back to this same range as before and tested if there's any more buys or sells that the market is willing to do at that stage. So the market, if I'm aware and I bought a lot of BTC, I want to defend my position from the $28,000. Which they perfectly done in June this year, come back to this zone, but they stayed a little bit longer to gain more fuel, to gain more power, to go for the next level. So assuming that this is the short reaccumulation zone, and down here we have an accumulation zone, to just test if there's any more buys or add more position from these buys here. Now we did exactly the same. We went up, we left this range, we come back. We had a little short accumulation here, just 1 month. And after that, we've seen a higher high. And now, can you guys see if there's any similarities between this drop here and now what we're gonna do here? For me, all the market is doing is coming back to this level, test this previous range where we left it too quick. We're coming back and we're just trying to capture more liquidity and more buys for those whales who bought BTC here, for them to defend the area. If the whales managed or the bulls managed to defend this area, then this is the next good support zone for Bitcoin price to go higher. Now, if you look at this, 1 month plus 2 months accumulation. Here we had 1 month, and we probably need more accumulation within this zone. This is going to be our battle zone from 52 to like 39. This kind of area will be our battle zone for the next month or two. And it's actually better if we consolidate a little bit more within this area for us to have more fuel, more strength, for the bulls to have more fuel and more strength to go and tackle the next all-time high.
Thanks, Lee. I mean, guys, remember this physics behind the market. There's coins, they need to be absorbed, then there needs to be a shortage, and there needs to be demand, and that's when price can go up. So just keep that in mind when we look at this. This is simple mechanics. I really love this. It's clear-cut, simple explanation. So what do we want to see? We want to stay in that box. Lee, tomorrow, are we going to dive into the workings of that box?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do smaller time frame tomorrow and see what's happening within this battle zone. For now, it's only a battle zone. I think the market, just to give you a hint, the market hates when there's no liquidity. There's no more leverage. Like we know, leverage has been checking out, everybody's stopped out. So I think the market needs to accumulate, stay within this range, and for us to tell them what to do. If more people are shorting in this area, then there's more liquidity and we can go up. If there's more people still buying this dip here on leverage, so the liquidity is going to accumulate here south. So market's going to go probably and take them out first before the next move. So I think the market is just ranging here, waiting for people to lose their impatience, to lose their patience, and then get into the market again with leverage position.
Okay, cool. So now we've given you guys two. First, we showed you how to gain momentum, and second one, we've explained in brief the accumulation and the effect that gets formed out of good positive accumulation. Lee, I think before we touch on the third one, let's maybe quickly have our early supporter role picked. So Joe, who is the winner of today's early supporter role that gets to join the Discord early supporter team? I think we've got 5 now. I think there's 45 left.
Round about this area. I think Joe said we should pick up 1 on this live stream and 1 in the comment below, because a lot of people is not watching this show live. So we're going to give 2, 1 for the live stream and 1 for the comments on the YouTube comments.
Okay, please, guys, afterwards, if you don't watch it live, don't worry. Just throw your name in there. Joe's going to get you there. Okay, so Olga, welcome. Please contact Joe on our Twitter channel, the CryptoEMC Twitter channel. Send him a direct message. He will get in touch with you. Only that one. Nothing similar, or not even a fake me or a fake Lee. Only that one. Please don't get spammed or scammed. And he'll make sure that you get onto the early supporter role. Lee, now, we've done this in 20 minutes. I'm impressed. Should we leave the third one for tomorrow, or can we do it
No,
today?
you can't do that. You can't do that. I mean, we waited for 20 minutes now. You have to share the last chart. I mean, this is the nuggets, man.
Okay, cool. This is the
You
nugget.
have to share it.
This is going to be a nugget, guys. Okay, let's cut the tunes. Let's bring a nugget on. Guys, everybody wants to know where's fear. Everybody wants to know where's greed. You'll hear us and you'll see us tweet and then get hammered for saying, it's bad when the market's really getting good and bullish and greedy. So I want to give you guys a little bit of a pro tip on exactly how to look at the market, look at the chart, and go and apply this to any alt you have, any other coin that you're trading. Remember, these tools are simple for a reason. You're going to take this now and go and apply it to whatever you have in your bags and make a decision whether you should be holding, whether you should be reducing some risk, whether you can add more to your position, and so forth and so forth. So I want you guys to go and take these tools and use it. All right. Now, the last one. Let's quickly dive into this one. It's called channels, guys. Now, we all know channels. We all heard about the idea behind channels. And there's many tools out there where you can actually draw channels and do crazy stuff. But I'm just going to make it simple. And Lee, maybe before we do that, we built an indicator for you guys as well.
Yes.
Let's
come on, man. Stop teasing us. Just share your channel. No, okay. This indicator is also a good tool to have. I mean, I disagree with that.
And we're going to be making it publicly available to you guys shortly. So the nice thing is that it's not a special indicator in the sense of it's going to be the unlocking key that gives you limitless, free trade entries and so forth. I mean, it's a realistic tool. What do? We teach you guys how everybody else is losing. That's all that we do every day. And you hear a lot of people use moving averages. They use Ichimoku clouds. They use Bollinger Bands. They do all these things. So this tool basically has got all that in one indicator. So if you've got a free trading view account, normally you can only load 3 indicators, which means if you want to just not want to trade off them, you actually just want to see what everybody else is looking at, you end up having to remove your indicator, add a new one, and. So what this is doing is one indicator, which means you can still load an RSI at the bottom, and you can actually see what your opponents are doing, and just make sure that you don't lose track of where they're going to be losing their money. So we're going to be touching on this going forward. It will get posted, and I will show you guys how to get to it. For now, it's just a code on my machine, but I want to show you guys that it's going to be a very powerful tool, and it's going to have a lot of stuff built in for you guys. There's still a few things that's missing on this one that I still have to activate, but I'll get that to you shortly, guys. Shortly. Okay, Lee. Now I'm stopped interrupting. I won't interrupt again. So okay, cool. What do we want to talk about? We want to talk about channels. Let's quickly do this, guys. Everybody wants to draw a simple trend line. That's a simple trend line. You all agree with me. A simple trend line meaning that once Bitcoin started going up, that's kind of the area where when it dumped, it didn't quite feel that well. And we had a significant reversal. Now, a channel basically just puts the 2 ranges. So the bottom end of this would be what gets called as a demand zone. That is when demand entered the market. Whether it held is a completely different story. And I don't want to go into that just yet, but that is a demand zone. So if we zoom into this and make it just a little bigger, now look at that trend line. There we created the trend, there we tested the trend, and the rest played out. Now, if I want to look at creating a channel, I can literally just do that. Now, the nice thing is, and this is what I really want to show you guys, and you can go and back test this. Go and do this with all your coins that you're holding. Where is greed in the market? We tend to say that a lot, and there's a lot of people say, buy the dip, and you must do this, and you must do that. But the end of the matter is, when it's greedy, you need to think about getting out. If you look at this, that area there, and that area there, every time you get above that, there is an overbought condition, and the market's greedy, which means when people are taking profit, professional traders like us, and you guys for being on the show, when you're going to be taking profit around that area, the market's going to react negatively. If you were taking profit over here, you would have done anything. It would have just kept on moving. But as soon as people start taking profit in these overextended areas, it means that there's not a lot of support to hold the price there. It falls back in on itself. So with this being said, let me just clear this. And I'm going to move over to where we are now. Same thing, nothing complicated. Clicking there, and drawing a trend line. And I'm doing exactly the same thing, just moving that line up. There you go. Same area. That is where greed is sitting. So if ever you wonder where the greed is in the market, that's where greed is. The nice thing with this is you can go and apply it everywhere. But there's one additional thing. I'm going to show you where fear is in the market.
I was about to ask.
Yes. Lee, maybe you can just point it out. The sad thing is StreamYard doesn't allow us to squabble on each other's screens. I really wish you guys can see how we can squabble on each other's screens. But the main thing is, where's fear? There's fear. So if fear is in the market around that level,
leaving the market.
Yes, when it's leaving to the bottom, which means taking profit does exactly the same. There people took profit and it dumped. Here people take profit and it pumps. The shorts take profit and it pumps. Simple as that. Now let's move that back to where we are now. Are we in a fearful state or are we in a greedy state, guys? And that's the reality. People are scared. So when there's profit to be taken, what's going to happen with this? A lot of people shorted this. Price is going to want to do what? Going to want to go to that imbalance area over there. That is where that magnet is hiding. Lee, you had a magnet little icon here the other day I saw.
Yeah, it's oh, stop. Up, next to the text box.
Next to the text box.
Yeah, I can see.
And if I don't know where the text box is, how am I going to get it?
1, 2, 3. Down 3 and right 3.
Down 3, right 3.
From where you were.
Oh, from where I were.
Yeah, stop.
Down
Okay,
3.
stop. No. Stop just now and then right. Just above. Is that you? Come on, man. Diagonal up.
Ah, there it is. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, cool. There's the magnet. There's the magnet, guys. There's a magnet sitting over there, and there's a magnet sitting over there. In the same way that we had a magnet over there, and we had a magnet over there if we zoom that out. Okay. There was a magnet there, and there was a magnet there. So let's see what the price wants to do. I don't want to predict and go crazy and say it has to, but it can go to any one of these range. Tomorrow, we're going to dive into this lateral trend because it's forming now in the same way that this one was forming. So we can start looking at maybe grabbing the buys or whatever we want to do, but let's get a little bit more cards from the market so we can see where they're going to go. But there's the magnets, and those are possibilities that we can be looking at. Right, Lee? That's me.
So we know when to sell. Sell the greed, buy the fear.
Right, guys. Are we going to finish the stream up? What did we do? 27 minutes. 7 minutes over our time limit for today. We wanted to make it short. I think we halfway got there. Lee, thanks a lot for everything, buddy. Tomorrow you're going to have your Bitcoin charts ready. Guys, please hit like and subscribe button for us and share it with your friends. This is easy stuff. Everybody can use it. Don't get caught. The market can ruin your mood, especially when it's getting gloomy like now. I can see everybody on social media are so negative, giving up on this thing. There's nothing to give up, guys. It's part of the cycle. New people, the first 90%, 90% of people that's new to this going to lose 90% of their money in the first 90 days. That's a sad reality that needs to happen. You don't need to be part of that statistic. Take up this knowledge and educate yourself and apply it to your portfolio. Lee, that's it from my side. I'm ready to say bye.
Thank you, Udo. You made it very easy. Share this video with your friends who they just went to the cryptocurrency community. Share it with as many people as you want, as you can. And yeah, help each other. And if you are in doubt, reach out to us. We have the Discord group, the YouTube channel, subscribe. It's free. Everything is free. So take advantage of it.
Cheers, guys. Let's bounce, Lee.